So, you have mould in your home. How did that happen? The answer is actually quite simple. Your home is not dry. What does that mean? It means that the levels of humidity in your home are high enough for long enough to allow mould to grow. We discussed the conditions that mould likes in an earlier episode. There are two main contributing factors. You have wet building materials, or damp, which we will deal with first, or your lifestyle produces more moisture than your home can handle, or both. How might your building be wet or damp? Well, here are the three main reasons: flooding, escapes of water, and building defects. Now, flooding is obvious. If your home is flooded as a result of rising water levels, your home will not only be wet, but it'll also be grossly contaminated with all sorts of biological and chemical materials brought in from the outside. Now, mould growth is likely to follow shortly afterwards, as it can take a long time before remediation work begins. Second reason, building defects are often less obvious, but if water is working its way into your home, whether through penetrating damp, rising damp, or a leaky roof, you'll have excess moisture building up in your home. Just what mould needs. Now, some building defects can be insured against, for example, subsidence or storm damage. It depends on the level of cover you may have chosen. However, building defects often fall under maintenance and will typically not be covered. The third reason is escapes of water. Now, by escapes of water, we mean leaking internal pipes, burst pipes, washing machines and dishwasher leaks, radiator leaks, overflowing baths and sinks, storage tanks, etc., etc. These are usually covered by insurance. However, many homeowners and occupants will not call their insurer and allow the building to dry on its own, especially if they think it's a small event or they think that a claim will result in higher premiums in the future. We will discuss insurance claims in more detail in another video, but I will say now that you should never assume that the water damage will dry out on its own or in a manner that is timely enough for mould not to develop. If we can assume that your building has no defects and you have still got mould growing, we could be looking at the second main cause, your lifestyle. What we mean by lifestyle in this context is human activity in the home. Living a modern life results in the introduction of a considerable amount of water and water vapour into your built environment. The information that follows is widely accepted in principle, but here is what the Institute of Specialist Surveyors and Engineers have to say on their website. A person could perspire and exhale 40 grams of water vapour per hour when sleeping, 70 grams per hour when seated, and 90 grams per hour when standing or doing housework. It continues to say, theoretically, if occupants didn't leave the dwelling, slept for 7 hours, sat for 10 hours, and stood or did housework for 7 hours, each occupant could generate 1.6 kilograms of moisture purely due to metabolic moisture generation. On top of that, we can add the use of domestic appliances and activities which also contribute to the amount of moisture in the air. Here is more from the ISSE. Cooking with gas cooker, 3,000 grams per day. Cooking with electricity, 2,000 grams per day. Dishwashing, 400 grams per day. Washing clothes, 500 grams per day. Drying clothes indoors, 1,500 grams per day. A 15-minute shower, 600 grams. Now, ISSE points out that it is likely that modern power showers generate much more. Again, quoting directly, clearly drying clothes can be but one major contributor to indoor humidity, especially in homes with multiple occupancies. While governments want us to seal up our homes to retain heat and reduce consumption of energy and our carbon footprint, in doing so, we also trap all this moisture in our homes. But without adequate ventilation, there is a high risk that a build-up of humidity levels may trigger germination of mould and growth conditions. While we will be discussing how you might be able to manage excess lifestyle humidity in your home later in the series, there are some simple things can be done in the short term to reduce the amount of water vapour you create and trap within a building. For example, shorter showers, cooler showers, opening windows, repairing faulty extractor fans, and stopping or at least reducing the amount of drying of clothes indoors and on radiators. Remember, if you have mould growing in your home, you have excess water in your home and your home is not dry. You can try to kill the mould, but it will keep coming back. To stop mould, you must stop the water. The next video in this series explains why certain areas in your home get mouldy and others do not. Thank you for watching.